Well, good morning, guys. I'm kind of late today. Welcome to another trading session here. Yeah, I'm kind of late. I just missed the 9:30 open bell. I'm sorry for that, but I guess we didn't miss much. Well, today, honestly, I was looking at the charts and I was thinking what my markets may do. And I was thinking about how we managed to cross the Zen walk here right at 8:30, but honestly, we didn't manage to close above it, and we are still below the 8:30 open, below 9:30 open, and below this first presented fair value gap. We are retesting a 1 hour fair value gap as well. I will see now if these bearish fair value gaps get respected or not, and if so, I might try to complete my bias as bearish, since we have London lows here. If we take a look at the opening range gap, the opening range gap for today's action is completed, so we retraced it already. I'm now trying to wait a bit and see if we can hold these bearish fair value gaps here. It seems like that, but would like to see more confirmation if we have some action to the downside or not. We left some relative equal highs here above, which are kind of suspicious. I don't like to short the market when you have relative equal highs. Let me check NQ. So far NQ, so far I'm not liking how NQ is pushing to the upside and pushing to the downside as well. It's not a clean delivery, honestly. So I might wait for a bit more. I would like to see midnight open, probably, if we manage to close below these bearish fair value gaps here. As you can see here, this shaded area is the yen wall, which price is working in. We are kind of rejecting the midpoint of it. There we go. NQ is also respecting bearish PD arrays for now. So we have another bearish fair value gap here that was kind of respected here. This bearish one. Let me just check the 15-minute here. Yeah, so far price is doing what I was expecting it from what was expecting. Price is just going to the downside. It will probably retrace to midnight open here. Let's see if we are still able to get into a position, into a short position. Another bearish fair value gap here. On the hourly time frame, price is touching a bullish order block, so this place might be tricky to short the market. Because if we respect that order block, we might get higher. We also have 10 a.m. news, and I would not like to be in a position before 10 a.m. news. I will probably wait for it, since we have about 8 minutes until news. But so far, bearish PD arrays are being respected. We took some sell side liquidity. These are minor sell side liquidity points that we took with this bearish move. Let me just check here. Yeah, we got another fair value gap here down below, a hourly fair value gap, and we just touched the order block as well. So price is reacting to the hourly order block. There we go. That's why I said that it is tricky to short something here, since we are touching on the hourly. We are touching a bullish bullish order block, and if we start to invert these bearish PD arrays, we might as well see relative equal highs here taken out. But yeah, so far, nothing special here. Price reacting really good to that hourly order block. And it's starting to invert these PD arrays here. So we still have 5 minutes to news. I will wait for it. I will not engage with the market before news. Makes no sense for me, since we can get stopped out with volatility. News always brings some kind of volatility, and those spikes of volatility can really take us out of trades that sometimes are in the correct way. But if we mess a bit with the stop loss, if we tighten it a bit, we might get stopped out. Well, so far, the NWOG is still holding. We try to break below this bullish fair value gap, but we kind of picked out, and now price is reaching higher. I would like to see an inversion of this first presented fair value gap here. Note that I said that when price was here, I was talking about these relative equal highs that were kind of suspicious. So I'm looking to them as a possible draw liquidity right now. But first we have to invert this fair value gap as well. We have to invert the first presented fair value gap as well and hold 930 open as well. So that's why I'm waiting. We have still 3 minutes. Yo, Gorilla, what's up? Just saw your message. How you doing today? Have you opened anything yet? I guess you're waiting for 10 a.m. news, right? Well, at least I am. I will wait for 10 a.m. news and decide what to do after it. Yeah, I guess that's the best decision to wait for news. We have still 2 minutes. Price is kind of decisive right now. So news can take us out if we try to get ahead of it. Especially if you use tight stop losses here. Price can spike either way. So even if you're long or if you're short, you can get stopped out. So we still have 1 minute. As you can see, price is already moving in a fast pace already. Yeah, I was into shorts too. I guess we have to probably revisit London lows or at least midnight open. I was liking this kind of action here, but it didn't open anything because we had 10 a.m. news. I still find these relative equal highs kind of suspicious, but yeah, but I'm more inclined to a bearish bias today. I guess we will reject the NWOG here, and work our way to the downside. We have a lot of liquidity here, and if we manage to get out of the end walk, we might visit eventually event horizon, or I don't know, we will see. So as you guys can see, the price just spiked to the upside, spiked to the downside. Kind of tricky. But I guess we are indeed moving to the downside here. Price rejecting the first presented fair value gap, rejecting this bearish fair value gap as well. Well, the only thing that I'm not liking about price is that we are taking highs, taking lows, but we are not willing to close below them. We are just wicking here, and I honestly don't like that kind of action. And Q is not making any lows, any new lows. See, I don't like how price is moving here, wicking a lot here as well. NQ didn't manage to make another high, another low. I'm sorry. So I'm just waiting, because we might go another turn to the upside, taking out these relative equal highs here. Let's see if this PD is this bearish PD arrays really get respected or eventually rejected here. I would like to see this acting as a BPR here, because we have a bullish fair value gap here, we have a small bearish one here, and price in theory it doesn't need to come back to this range, but if so, I will take the hands of my trigger and wait to see what it wants to do. Well, so far no trades yet. Price is kind of mumbling around here. For now, we have some kind of SMT for those who trade SMTs. We have some kind of SMT on the 1 minute here with NQ. So ES made a new low, but ES made a new low, but NQ didn't. Yeah, so today, if you hear some strange noises, I have some construction going on right next to my house. So today we have to deal with it. I'll just close that window in my L. Well, so far I'm glad I didn't engage in anything. Price disrespected this fair value gap once again. I will just take it off. We have an SMT here with NQ. We have to take into account that on the hourly, we are inside of bullish fair value gaps. We are right above a bullish order block as well. So this might be a tricky spot to do anything, because price can retrace the lower bands and the upper bands quite a lot before taking any action on any side. So we have to be patient. For now, if price manages to get above and invert this fair value gap, I will take probably these relative equal highs as a draw on liquidity. Seems like a logical step. Seems like we will attack those relative equal highs here. Let's see if we can manage to let's see if we can hold this bearish fair value gap here and the first presented as well. I would like to see now some kind of a displacement to the upside, inverting the first presented fair value gap. We are working its midpoint here. And I would like to see price deliver to the upside with some kind of displacement, breaking through a 930 open as well. Let's see if we can get a close above 930 open here. Yeah, so far we got a rejection here on 930 open, not the best situation here for ES. We took here data highs on ES. We still have data highs on NQ to take. price is pushing once again. Let's see if we can get some kind of displacement to the upside. I'm eyeing here these relative equal highs. But 930, it's been a tough resistance for now. We wicked. If we close below it, we will wick 3 times. Yeah, 930 acting as a resistance once again. Let me just check the 930 open on NQ here. 930. Yeah, NQ took 930 open, but ES is not willing to do that. We would like to see this inverted fair value gap here being respected as an inverted one. And the second thing that I would like to see is a push to the upside above 930 open here. Let's see. Yes, seems like it will have another attempt to break it. once again, touching 930 open. It's an important, it's really an important point here. It has some confluence also with the top of a bullish for value gap, the top of the NWOG. So I think that we we need to give the market some time to break through it. So at this point, I would not like to see price coming down to my break even. So I will just protect myself here. We have a close above these wicks. So if price comes back below, we will probably revisit these areas where I had my stop loss. And when price comes down to these areas, everything can happen. So I'm not willing to take those chances. The next logical resistance would be 830 open here. This price is not forming any type of bullish fair value gap here. I think I might pay myself here something. Because I would like to see some sort of bullish fair value gaps, and I'm not seeing it. So if we try to do some projections here, the logical thing would be something like that. So we have some kind of confluence here with these relative equal highs here at minus 0.5. And we have some confluence here as well, because we have some kind of a bearish for value gap on ES. So the minus standard 2 deviation here, the minus 2 standard deviation here is the bottom of that 4 hour for value gap. So this might give us some kind of confluence here. Right now, I will just manage this position and if price comes here, I will probably not take everything off, and will manage this position in coordinates with the market, with what the market is doing. So I will be patient with this trade and try to squeeze the maximum of it. I think that my stop loss here at break even is kind of premature, because we might see price taking out these lows before giving it another chance to the upside. But I'm content if I got stopped out at break even. What I would like to see here is a 930 open hold. I would not like to see close down below 930. Otherwise, we will visit lower prices here. See, that's why I took a partial here, because I was not seeing any significant fair value gap which could hold price. And before it makes a dive to the downside, I prefer to take something off, paying myself as a trader, and doing some closer management to it. Also, for a nice reaction, this one here did a nice damage, but we are getting a nice reaction here, rejecting 930 open very well. This was probably the last touch on the first presented fair value gap. There we go. Nice displacement to the upside. Yeah, we are breaking through 830 open here. NQ is doing a nice displacement to the upside as well. We are hitting here the minus 0.5 standard deviation. So we might face some kind of a pit stop here. But we have right above these relative equal highs that I set when price was down here. These were kind of sus. I was kind of suspicious. My general bias was kind of bearish, because I was expecting some kind of a retracement to the downside, eventually until midnight open. But as soon as I start to see this type of movements here, price wicking below, and as soon as I saw that SMT with NQ and looked above and saw that we still had these relative equal highs, okay, then I thought that, okay, my bearish bias might not be in place today. So this might be the low-hanging fruit here. And if we can respect eventually these projections here, we might face the 4-hour bearish per value gap here as our final target that we will see. I don't know if you can hear this noise. I hope the mic doesn't catch it, because just these are some construction noise here. Some construction that is going on next to my house. Well, this is the type of value gaps that I was hoping to see before taking this partial here. It is allowed to trade below it, but not too close below it. So this wick just touched the order block here, and I would like to see it close inside or above this per value gap here. Well, at least I would like to see this order block to hold. Otherwise, we will kind of reject and leave these relative equal highs for later. Yeah, nice progression to the upside. These relative equal highs are almost being taken, so I guess this is the low-hanging fruit But as I said before, I will manage this position because we have a potential move to the upside here until -2 standard deviation. As for now, we managed to stay above 930 open. We are working now the 830 open, approaching also a macro hour. So I will note it as well here. This macro is the 1050 to 1150, 1110, I mean. So 10:50 a.m. to 11:10 a.m. So this macro should give us some fuel. So as you can see here, relative equal highs are being taken. So the low-hanging fruit here is reached. This was my initial target, but since I took some partials here, I will try to stretch the trade a little bit more. I took some partials here because I was not seeing any type of value gaps or significant ones, and was seeing that price was having a hard time to trade above 930. That's why I took those partials. So now I will try to stretch my trade a little bit more, eventually trying to get one of these standard deviation areas. The -2 would be the ideal scenario because it has some confluence with a bearish 4-hour fair value gap, and we might test it. But I would be content if we reach -1.5, which is a big target as well. So now I will just manage my position. NQ is definitely the stronger sister here. ES is the weakest one, but I don't mind. I usually only trade ES. It's just saying goodbye to my wife. I usually just trade yes. Let's see if we manage to get some more momentum to the upside here. Well, for those who are just joining the stream, I will try to resume what I was expecting today. Well, today I was kind of bearish, since I would like to see price coming down to midnight open or eventually London lows. Because we were also rejecting an end wall here. We tried to stay above it, but as soon as 9:30 came, we started to displace to the downside. But since we had 10 a.m. news, I was willing to wait for 10 a.m. news to take any kind of decision. And as soon as we hit it, I saw that price started to wick below the end wall, not showing any strength to the downside. When price was here, I noted that we left some relative equal highs as well here. And as soon as we formed some kind of an SMT, this is an SMT with ES, with NQ, I mean, here. I noticed that, okay, maybe my bias is wrong and we will seek for higher prices, at least these relative equal highs here. And I changed my bias there. So, I mean, I guess you can play the market with two biases. You have a scenario A and a scenario B. So if your plan A doesn't work, you can adapt it to your plan B, and that's what I did today. So if your plan A doesn't work, you have to search for another plan, or eventually, if you cannot find that another plan, you might just take the hands of the trigger and let the market do what it wants to do. Well, price just digging higher here, respecting bullish PD raise. This is not the run that I would like to see. I like quicker runs to the upside, but if the market wants to play like this, I don't mind. I really don't mind. I just don't like how price eventually can retrace in a hard way and in a harsh way when we have runs like this, where you have one candle to the upside, another to the downside, one candle to the upside, another to the downside, and suddenly you have 2-3 candles displacing to the downside and taking out your and punishing and taking out your stop. So that's why I don't like these kind of drives to the upside or to the downside. I like when price just gives a run with displacement, but we have to accept what the market gives us. So well, NQ is doing a better job than ES. I just pushed the projection here on NQ, and NQ is almost reaching the minus standard 2 deviation. The ES is quite far away from it. So I guess as soon as NQ trades the -2 standard deviation, I will have to take some more partials here, because then we can eventually expect a major retrace. So on the 1 hour time frame, price is just making a engulfing candle on ES. I would like it to stay like that. I would not like it to close as a green candle with a big wick. So we have 10 minutes in. We are approaching 10:50 macro. We have 1 minute left. So the 10:50 macro will probably give us 2 scenarios. Or we displace to the downside and try to punish everybody who's buying, since we took these relative equal highs already. Or it may gives us a fake down move and then the continuation to the upside. That's what I would like to see. Not the first scenario that I mentioned. Well, just give me a second, guys. I will just have to leave for a minute. Well, I'm back. I'm sorry, but I had to make a quick phone call. Yeah, price just got supported here. It went to -1 standard deviation, but I would like to see it go a little bit higher here. Let me just check NQ. NQ is still pushing higher. So we might expect the same from MES. I will probably take another partial here, since we are starting some retrace and it's about 11, so I might take another 2 contracts off. And I will leave the rest here. If price wants to go higher, I will just leave it. Reaching for -2 standard deviation, it's not asking much, but price is not testing the 15-minute order block. Well, as I said before, these are not the type of runs that I like on price, because they make a lot of pit stops. I like those clean runs, those low resistance liquidity runs. I cannot say that this is a high resistance one, but it's offering some type of resistance here. We are 20 minutes in, and we are retracing the minus 0.5 standard deviation. We are inside the macro, but the macro honestly is only offering us downside momentum here. No bullish momentum. So I was talking about the 1 hour candle on ES some minutes ago, and it already closed. It closed 2 minutes ago. It offered a small wick to the upside. I would like to see it closed above those wicks, those 2 last down close candles, but it closed right at the top of one of them. It's acceptable, but I would like it to close right above it. Well, at this point, I will just let it run. I have one micro still, but we'll just let it run and see where it will take us. I honestly would like to see some kind of a -2 standard deviation for this trade, but since it's kind of stuck in here, it's already 11 a.m. on ES in New York. I mean, we might face some kind of a retracement, and it might take my position to a lower scenario, but that's acceptable. I'm really sorry about my camera, man, but I can do nothing about it. I guess that's... I will have to change cables. It might be a cable issue, honestly. Somebody said to me that it might be a cable issue. So right now we are just surfing the wave. Just surfing the wave and see where it gets us. ES did a good job. Honestly, I started with some kind of a bearish scenario in my mind, but as soon as I saw this price action here, right at the bottom of this shaded area, which is a NWAL, I started to switch ideas, because I was kind of suspicious about these relative equal highs here, and as soon as I saw this kind of SMT here with NQ, then I saw that we might revisit these relative equal highs before anything else. So I will notice this is an SMT here. This is not buy side liquidity, it's SMT with NQ. Well, I'm not the type of guy that trades SMTs, but if SMTs, if I'm kind of indecisive about what price is doing, and I see that there's an SMT at some strategical points, I might consider it, and it might serve as a confirmation of my bias or my narrative. I entered here as soon as I saw some kind of a retracement to this inverted fair value gap, and a retracement as well to the first presented fair value gap. So I entered somewhere near here. Yeah, you know, I think right here, and then took partials right away here some minutes ago, because I saw that market was kind of, it wasn't offering those lower resistance liquidity runs. It was a run to the upside, but not with adhesion, with the strength, volatility, and everything that we as traders want to see. So I took some partials here, pushed myself to break even, because I was seeing that we had some kind of a hard time passing through 9:30 open, and if we kind of rejected 9:30 open, we could expect some lower prices. That's why I put myself break even, and then I just go the wave. Took some partials here once again as soon as we hit, or was hitting 11, because retracements can happen at 11 o'clock as well. And now I'm just chilling to see what price wants to do. The day is done. I still have this runner. If this runner wants to run higher, I will just trail its stop, and if it wants to close below, I will allow it as well. Well, since we are just watching and waiting, since we are doing nothing here, I will just check here one thing. Well, 1050 to 1110 macro didn't give us anything here. It was an empty macro, which I like to call it. Empty macros, they are quite usual. Empty macros tend to happen, and honestly, the 1050 to 11 a.m. macro is not my favorite one. My favorite one might be the 950 to 1010, but also this one didn't give us much today. So now we are just waiting for price to decides what it wants to do. Honestly, I can see a lot, not a lot more, but I can see some kind of a upper move still happening here. At this point, I will just give the market room to breathe. If it wants to retrace lower, it can retrace lower. What we can expect at lunch hour, which is at 12 at noon. But it usually takes lows or highs from 10 a.m. So if we look at what price is doing, we have some 10 a.m. lows here, which might be taken out as we approach lunch hour. But we will see. we were talking about some kind of a retrace happening at 11 a.m. and it might be starting to happen. I'm still expecting some push to the upside, but we might take out some liquidity first before doing some kind of a move to the upside. Yeah, at this point, there's nothing we can do. We are just watching price, nothing more. We took some partials already. Position is at break even, so if it wants to stop us, that's all right. If it wants to dig higher, that would be perfect. So I think that we still have some room to the upside because we have a point of interest here before our bearish for value gap, which we might try to retest. Yeah, price is just entering the 11 a.m. retrace as expected. That's why I took partials here and closed almost the entirety of my position. I'm just leaving a runner here. If it wants to run higher, it will. If it wants to come lower and take out my stop, I'm fine with it as well. But as you can see, price is giving us some kind of signatures that it still wants to come higher. It still needs to come higher. As you can see here, we are gathering some liquidity here. Short sellers, relative equal highs are being formed. So I guess we just need a bit more liquidity and take out some players before hitting these values here. Yeah, and price so far is digging lower. I can see that on the 15-minute, it's starting to retest those 15-minute order blocks on ES. Well, on NQ, it has a lot more to dig lower before hitting some kind of order blocks on NQ. But on ES, we are just right above them already. So far, this fair value gap is kind of holding here. This fair value gap has some confluence with the order blocks on the 15-minute and with the order block on the 1 hour as well. So I'm expecting this fair value gap to hold. We might go back to these relative equal highs here, because these are stops from those who are trying to sell right at 11 a.m. Well, it's kind of a boring action since 10:40. We are kind of 40 minutes into this consolidation here. At least we took some partials already, and we almost finished our trading session. It was quite a quick trading session today. Honestly, I was not intended too long right before the market opening. I had some kind of a bearish bias today, but as soon as I saw that price was not willing to do what I was looking for, and as soon as I saw that we were kind of inside of an SMT with NQ, I changed my bias and was looking for longs. I longed the market as soon as I got a rejection from this inverted fair value gap here. Took a partial right here, protected my position at break even, risk free, and then took another partial as soon as we hit 11 o'clock, because 11 o'clock is the time in the morning that where we can start to retrace, and that's why I took it. And right now I'm just observing the market, if it wants to run higher or not. Honestly, I'm afraid that this break even, this stop here, will be taken out as soon as we hit the lunch hour, because usually lunch hour tends to go after highs and lows formed between 10 a.m. And as you can see here, 10 a.m. highs were taken already, but 10 a.m. lows are still open. And what we can do here is grab these relative equal highs, displacing to the downside, and come back below, taking these lows here, and after it we might continue the upside move. But honestly, if it does so, I'm content with it. I don't mind. I played my part today and took the partials that I needed. Could have taken the full position out here, but I'm good. I'm good with it. NQ is still consolidating as well. It's kind of curious because NQ is consolidating right below the -2 standard deviation. Meantime, ES is kind of far away from the -2 standard deviation. NQ definitely the stronger sister today. ES the weaker one. But we managed to took off some profits from the market today. I'm content with it. I'm content with it, honestly. It didn't make what I originally intended it to do, but I think that I adapted myself to plan B. And as soon as I saw the market coming here, rejecting the bottom of the N walk, presenting a SMT with NQ, yeah, I had to change my bias and look for some kind of longs here. Once again, I think that I could have done better with the stop placement here, because I think my stop was kind of too wide. But since we had no PD array here that could eventually hold price as support, I was not willing to do something like this, because I'm afraid I could have been stopped out here. That's why I widened my stop. It kind of ruins my risk to reward, I know, but it is what it is. In conditions like this, I think we have to give some room to, and some breathing area to the market. Yeah, MES is retracing / consolidating. Back once again to this fair value gap here. I guess, as I was saying, as soon as we hit lunch hour, we will probably take out these lows here, and with these lows, my break-even stop loss will probably get taken out as well, but I will take the chance and let it stay here. And after taking these lows, we will probably continue our way to the upside. But so far, I have been spot on with the partials. This one here was just a cautional partial, because I saw that the market was having a hard time to get above 930 open. So I took a cautional partial here just to pay myself. But as soon as I saw that we displaced to the upside and then displaced to the downside once again, okay, maybe the major leg is done, and eventually it will continue but later. I took another partial here and let it be. Well, NQ already took some of the 11 a.m. lows, but it has some 10 a.m. lows, some juicy 10 a.m. lows to take, and I think NQ and ES will take them as well here. Unfortunately, those are my stop loss as well, but it is what it is. Let's see if this kind of bullish for value gap and then walk can act as a trampoline to price. Yeah, so far no reaction from the upper band of the NWAG here. NQ is also getting lower. Yeah, as I said, my runner is probably not safe here. Let's see if 930 will hold here. 830 didn't hold. So price is now between 930 and 830 open. It might have a some kind of a zigzag here, and we will wait for it. We are approaching lunch hour as well. We are 20 minutes away from it. I will just wait for lunch hour just to see if my stop is safe or not. I tend to suspect that my stop isn't safe because lunch hour tends to punish and tends to seek for 10 a.m. Lows or highs. Well, the 10 a.m. highs are taken already, and we still have those juicy 10 a.m. lows here to take. So I guess these lows here, yeah, these ones right here might not be safe. Price might wick here to the downside, engaging some short sellers, and then displacement to the upside, retrace, and do something like this. That might be the most logical thing that price could do right now, I think. But I'm willing to take the chance and let my stop be here. I don't mind, honestly, because I've taken the majority of the position already. So if price doesn't come here or just take these here, these lows, I can expect a run to the upside and reaching for the ultimate target at -2 standard deviation. I'm willing to take the chance, honestly. And Q also have some juicy relative equal lows here as well. So they might be taken too at lunch hour. We'll just note lunch hour in between. It's a 1 hour. It's like a 1 hour time space from noon to 1 o'clock. So far, 9:30 open is holding. Price is still in between 9:30 open and 8:30 open. Price once again retesting this bullish per value gap. It was inverted, so it might be treated as a inversion per value gap. There we go. We are treating that as an inversion per value gap. So 8:30 open is rejected. 9:30 open will probably get rejected as well. The NVOG is acting like a minor support right now. The first presented fair value gap as well. Yeah, on NQ we still have a lot of room to the downside before we hit 10 a.m. lows. There we go, price is heading lower as well. So the first presented fair value gap is not adding as support as we would like to. Kind of curious to see what price wants to do, but honestly, I think I will be stopped out at break even here, and we still have some more room to go to the downside. I believe if you look at the 1 hour time frame, you can see that price stopped almost at 50% of the order block, but NQ still has a lot of room to go to the downside if it wants to, so it might push ES to the downside as well. There we go, we are taking the 10 a.m. 10:30 lows right before lunch hour, and we'll get stopped out at this point. I know about it, but it was fun to see how the market behaved. We took some of it. I will just wait for lunch hour. I will not initiate another trade. I just want to see if price wants to go lower, or if we just took these lows here just to seek some liquidity before we head to the upside once again. Yeah, ES has done a much deeper retrace. We are below 50% already. It's kind of a OTE level here to 62%. But honestly, looking into NASDAQ, if NASDAQ wants to take out 10 a.m. lows, it will dig a lot lower here, because those 10 a.m. lows are right at the 62% as well. Yeah, but we were right. I was right about my intuition. 11 o'clock is the time in the day where the consolidation or eventually a reversal can happen, and it started to retrace, but we kind of inverted it as soon as we hit this retest. We can see that we inverted the entirety of the bullish move here. Not the entirety, but almost. As of now, we are digging lower into T levels. I see that NQ still has some room to go lower, but honestly, I wouldn't like to see ES coming much more to the downside. I think that 0.5 here standard deviation is kind of permissible, but that would invalidate our theory about the 4-hour fair value gap here. As you look into the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we still have 3 minutes for this candle to close, but we are totally engulfing the bullish one that we took advantage of, this move here. So it's not a good sign for those who are still bullish. We'll just see how price will behave as soon as we hit noon, as soon as we hit 12 o'clock, because I would like to see if it displaces to the upside or if it continues to the downside. At this point, 10 a.m. lows are taken. 10 a.m. lows are taken, so ES might be ready to deliver to the upside if it wants to, but NQ still has some more to go here, because I'm looking at the 10 a.m. lows here, and it still has some room. It still has about 20 handles to take out those lows. So I'm just quite curious. The stream will end soon. I'm just curious about what price wants to do. I was kind of right as soon as we hit 11 o'clock. I could have taken out the runner, could have cut it off, but honestly, I was just seeing if I was right or not, and I was willing to take the chance to leave a run at break even. Since I was earning about $30, but was pointing to 130. So that's a good risk to reward. But honestly, I was anticipating these lows here to be taken eventually between lunch hour. We already took them. So I'm quite curious about what ES wants to do right now. And this is my alarm to tell me that I should be off the market now. And I am. I'm just watching it, just willing to give it some more minutes to see if we can break above, come above 930, open again, and eventually seek for these relative equal highs that we left here, or eventually go higher. If not, we will probably displace to the downside and seek for midnight open. I'm just in observation mode right now. But since NQ still has a lot of room to go to the downside, I believe now that ES may take eventually these 10 a.m. lows as well, if it doesn't give us a response here in this area. Some kind of a bullish reaction with displacement. If it does not happen, I think we will see lower prices. But if ES just give us some kind of a bullish reaction here, then we might eventually expect some higher prices, these relative equal highs, probably. Let's give it a little more minutes here. Let me just see. It's 2 hours and 20. Yeah, some 10 minutes. 10 minutes and I'm off. Yeah, not a good reaction. Note how we just rejected the midpoint of this bullish fair value gap. We also rejected the midpoint of almost the midpoint of the first presented fair value gap here. That's not a good reaction for those who are bullish. My camera's shut off again. Yeah, so far price is kind of indecisive about what's it it wants to do. Yeah, but I think we will see low prices right now because we are rejecting indeed this midpoint here. So a valid short would be something like this here, taking the stop above the midpoint of the end walk, and lower hanging fruit would be actually here, but having this main target midnight open. This is not a trade that I'm in. This is just an idea, but I guess that's reasonable since NQ still has some room to the downside, and eventually ES will be dragged. But yeah, this is just an idea, and I think I will end the stream right here. Well, tomorrow I will not be streaming. I have a very important birthday party. It's my wife's birthday, so I will be absent from the markets. I will be absent from YouTube. Will not engage with any of those. Since it's my wife's birthday, I will just be there for her, and not willing to share that moments with YouTube or with the markets. Well, I hope you liked today's stream. It was quite good, I think. I hope you really liked it. As you saw at the beginning, it was not. I was not totally right. I had a plan A and a plan B. The plan A was some of the bearish momentum exploration, but as soon as I saw these type of wicks here, I was not willing to engage with any type of shorts. So as soon as I saw these SMTs with NQ, I had to put in order my plan B. And as soon as I saw that we started to gather some support here, okay, I think that okay, we will go higher, and probably to those relative equal highs that I mentioned as suspicious when we were some kind of here right at the open. So I mean, you don't have to be totally right to be able to do something in the market, and to be able to take out some money from the market. You just have to be ready to adapt your narrative and your bias to whatever the market is doing, because in the end you don't have a crystal ball to see what the markets will do in the future. You just have to work with what they are doing, and be willing to adapt your plans and your strategy to it. So I entered the long here, took some off here, and took the majority of the position out here, and left the runner expecting some kind of a run to -2 standard deviation. It didn't happen. And as soon as we hit 11 o'clock, I started to say and started to see that we might go revisit the 10 a.m. lows here, which we have done already. We still have those on in queue, so that's why I'm expecting a lower run ES as well. But yeah, I was quite accurate here with my tape reading action and with my tape reading skills. So if you guys liked what you see today, hit me a thumbs up, hit me a like, subscribe as well if you're not subscribed already, and hope to see you not tomorrow, because as I said, I won't be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I will be back on Thursday, and hope to see you there. So thank you very much. Enjoy your day.